How y'all doing today? Welcome back. So, if y'all saw my latest acapella April, um, I told you I was gonna talk more about it, more about what I was talking about. Um, and I will after my poem. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Constant humiliation strengthens my determination. Degradation gives me motivation. Where they think I don't belong, I always battle to prove them wrong. But I do this for myself, and it makes the haters melt. I say all that I need to say, but the pain lets me know it's okay. Sometimes to just walk away and live to fight another day. I hope you enjoyed that. Um, you know, um, like I was saying in the last acapella April video, that I enjoy his music because it makes me because you know as the underdog, the overlooked, I believe that the underrated, you know um it actually helps, actually puts me in a mood where yes, I have a chip on my shoulder, but it makes me work even harder because I gotta earn these things. I gotta earn it, and um I gotta prove it, not necessarily to them, but to myself. And I will prove it to them consequently by proving it to myself. And it's important to if you're going through something, if you're going through tough times, it's okay to lean on people. It's okay to get help. But if you know, there's some situations where you have to do this on you, where you have to figure it out for yourself because nobody's going to help you in these situations. So sometimes you have to um figure out a way to do it on your own because nobody's going to give you a handout. Nobody's going to praise you for doing right. you know all they may see is what you do wrong, and they're going to bash you for what you do wrong. So focusing on what they say and what they do kind of does nothing for you, because as long as you're doing what you need to do and working on being better you than you were yesterday, as long as you're focused on growth and improvement, what they say does not matter. And in fact, what they say and do actually says a lot more about them than it does about you. It lets you know who they really are and who they're really not. So, you know, it's important to know the difference between somebody who's really with you and who's not with you. And just understand that it's not always gonna it's not always gonna be good and happy and rainbows and sunshine. It's not always gonna be that. Sometimes it's gonna be rain and thunder and lightning and and drenched, you know, and you still gotta go through it. You gotta go through the rain and thunder and cloud and lightning to get to the rainbows, the sunshine, all of that. You got to go through both sides. You got to go through one to get to the other. You got to go through the bad times to get to the good times. You got to have them both. You can't just have one. And if you look at other people and they're in their sunshine, like, you got to understand that you don't know what they had to, you don't know what kind of rain clouds and thunder they had to go through to get to that sunshine. As well as they don't know what you had to go through. They may see you up and happy and successful and, you know, but they don't know what pain and suffering you had to go through to get there. And you can't compare your start, your first lap. You can't compare your, let's say like this, you cannot compare your first lap to their 10th lap. Those are two different places. Two different places. There's one place in your life, that's another place in their life. It's not the same. Even your first place might be different from their first place. Or your first lap might be different from their first lap. It might be two different things still. Because you might have been dealt a worse hand than them. Or, and you could be further along. You could have started further along. Or, well, actually that wouldn't make sense. You would have started further back if that's the case. And you can still finish before them. Which is not important because it's kind of counterintuitive to compare your ending to their start. It's counterintuitive to compare like you're racing them. Like, this is your life. Your life goes the way that you're comfortable going or the way that you need to go. Their life will go the way that they need to go. You're not going the same way. Your paths are not the same. So don't compare your life to theirs because you guys don't have the same path. You're not going in the same place, the same direction. And even your movements aren't the same. So you gotta understand that people go at different paces. And if your pace may be a little slower than somebody else's, that's okay. As long as you're constantly growing and not staying stagnant, it really doesn't matter how far ahead they are than you. Because it's not a race. They may get their success before you. That's okay. Maybe that's not what was meant for you at that time. Maybe what was meant for you was to take more time to get to that success. They had an opportunity that you may not have had, and that's okay. Because like I said, everybody grows at their own rate. Everybody grows at their own pace. So, don't compare two people that are not the same. It's comparing apples to oranges. It's two different things. It's two different things. So, no two people are the same. You stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Deal with your pain. Strengthen your brain. And stay constant and remain in control. And oh yeah, what I was mentioning in the last video was, how I had the little smirks in my head. It's more of it might be anxiousness, depression, just frustration, sadness, all of that. I'm not always, obviously, as a human being, you're not always going to be happy, but you're not always going to be sad either. I have, most of the time, I am happy, I am upbeat, I am positive, I'm optimistic, glass half full. But there's moments where I do have moments where I have breakdowns, or I'm just like, the day's not a good day, you know. It just don't feel right. Um when you have this, you know, you have days where you're down, and then you have days where you're happy. You have your highs and your lows. And usually I find ways to keep the lows down, and don't let them stop me from doing what I have to do, or and I'm happy and sunshine and positive. But there's some days where you just can't see it. You just can't see the light. Some days where you just can't see the light, and you work to find the light. But sometimes while you're doing that, you force it out of you, which is not healthy either. You have to have these experiences of sadness and pain to understand that you're a human being, to realize that you're not perfect and you're not going to be perfect. You have to have these moments where, you know, where it's not gumdrops and rainbows and and sunshine and all of that. You have to have moments like that where it's not always going to go your way. But you have to find a way to stop it from making you productive, which is hard as well. That's the challenging part, is when you are down and you're low. Sometimes it is hard to be productive. But when you find something that day that keeps you going and it gets you to the next day, then it's like, you know, it really helps. But then the next time you feel this way, it might not help. That thing might not help the next time around. So sometimes you have to find other ways to get to get to there. But at the same time, don't force your happiness. Don't force it. Nothing comes good with forcing it. If you're not feeling good, feel that emotion. Feel that emotion. But just don't stay stuck in it. Don't pretend that things are good and happy when deep down you're just not, it's not feeling right. If you need help, talk to somebody. If you need help, talk to somebody. Because, when you have to keep everything to yourself, it becomes very challenging and very frustrating to deal with. So do what you have to do to get to the next day. And then even through your tough times, still find a way to stay disciplined. Which, like I said, is challenging. But, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to stay disciplined, whether you're feeling good or you're feeling bad or whatever it is. You have to find a way to be disciplined. Because nobody's going to get you out of the place that you need. No one's going to get you out of that place. You have to get yourself out of that place. No one owes you anything. You got to earn your way. You got to earn your keep, son. You got to earn your keep. All right. That's enough jibber jabber for me. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to have another poem up tomorrow. We about to hit a special milestone. And when I get there, I'm going to talk to y'all about it. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Love y'all. Have a good night. Stay grinding. Stay focused. Stay motivated. Peace.